Hello everyone, welcome to another movie review. I just saw Black Phone 2, which of course is the sequel to The Black Phone from a couple years ago, which was a movie I didn't really love. I'd only seen it once. I did rewatch it before this one just to refresh myself. Even though this movie is very different, by the way. If you've seen the trailers, you know what I mean. But I wanted to get, a refresh of like certain characters and, how the whole mythology, I guess you could say, worked in the first movie. I did have like some memory of it with the phone concept and all that. Um, but yeah, I guess I still feel the same way about the first movie. I didn't really love it when I first watched it. I just thought it was a solid movie. I wouldn't call it a classic or anything like that. I think I gave it like a C minus probably, or what did I give it? I think I gave it like 3 stars, which would be what's 3 stars? A C plus. So C plus actually. I gave it a C plus. Um, right. I'm trying to remember my grading scale. Yeah, that's a C plus. I'd probably give this movie the same grade, by the way. A lot of the reviews for this movie have been bad, and I'm kind of confused by that. I get it, because most people's complaints deal with probably how this movie wasn't really necessary. And also, it does run kind of long. I haven't watched a ton of reviews, but I feel like that's a lot of the complaints, because that's probably my main issue with the movie. It did drag a little bit, I feel. I didn't get bored or anything like that, but I felt they could have trimmed some stuff out. Um, and also, too, like, I felt like it could have had maybe more of a body count. It is a different kind of horror movie. It's more psychological. But, I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything, but, like, there really isn't much of a body count in this movie. Um, so, the premise of this one, you have Finn and Gwen. Finney, I guess, that's his name. Finney, from the first movie, the brother and sister. They're back in here, and they're starting to see the grabber again. At least Gwen is in her dreams, because, she has her dream powers from the first movie, and they expand on that in this one big time. Also, Finney is hearing him on the phone again, and it's sort of like a Freddy Krueger esque. That's why I'm wearing the shirt. If you've seen the trailers, it's more of like a Freddy Krueger kind of deal because spoilers for the first movie if you haven't seen it. He did die in the end of the first movie, the grabber, and now he's coming back via dreams, sort of like Freddy Krueger. Now, it's not exactly like a Nightmare on Elm Street. It's not a copycat or anything like that. It's a totally different kind of movie. Nightmare on Elm Street, especially the later movies, are more funny. Freddy is a hell of a character, of course, and the Grabber is much more serious and dark, and sinister, I guess. And Sinister, by the way, is another horror movie I want to watch by the same director, with Ethan Hawke. I think is also in that movie. I hear it's a good movie. I've never seen it. So Scott Derrickson, of course, directed the first Black Phone and this one. He did Doctor Strange, the first one. He did Sinister, like I mentioned. He did one of the Hellraiser movies, which objectively is not a good movie, but I think it's still cool that he was able to do one of those back in the day. And he did a good job with this movie. Like, visually, was really cool. Like, there's a lot of really cool long takes. There's some cool visual stuff going on with, like, especially Finney talking on the phone and, like, the dead bodies, speaking along with the lines on the phone, kind of like in the first movie. There's some cool shots involving that. The Dream World stuff is cool too. They sort of use like a handheld, like super, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, like home video esque kind of look to the dream sequences. And it makes it easy to tell like what's a dream and what isn't, because a lot of things run together sort of in the movie, but when between reality and dreams, super like grimy camera footage, you know um, yeah, so that was a cool choice. I thought that worked really well, and the acting was great too. I'll say Gwen is sort of the main character of the movie. Like, Finney kind of takes a little bit of a backseat. He still gets his arc though, and the actor still gives a good performance. But Gwen, this is her movie. Like, seriously, she really impressed me in the first movie, especially as a child actor. I thought she was great in it. And aside from Ethan Hawke, I'd say she probably gave the best performance in the first movie. And this is no different. You know, she gives even a better performance in this one. She gets a lot more screen time, and like I said, she's pretty much the main character. Some people might not like that, you know, because Finney, he's the first, you know, he's the original. But if you're going to look at this as sort of like a duology, because I don't know if they're going to do a third movie or whatever, you can look at it like the first movie's about Finney and then this one's about Gwen. So I don't know the actress's name, but she did an incredible job, seriously. Like, wow. And I want to highlight, too, the very last scene of this movie. It's a very emotional scene. That really, like, kind of saved the movie for me a little bit. Like, I'll just say this. When the final, like big scene happens, it sort of just kind of happens abruptly. And I'm like, oh, this is the final scene, I guess? You know what I mean? I did feel the runtime, and I knew, like, it was approaching, but it just sort of happens abruptly. And, like, you start to realize, okay, things are wrapping up now. But it's like, whoa, like, this just happened kind of out of nowhere a little bit. So that was kind of weird for me. But then the final scene of the movie was very emotional. I really enjoyed that. That was a very well done scene, very well written, very well acted, you know. So, but, you know, with this movie, like I said, it did drag a little bit. They could have cut some time out. I don't know how long it was. I didn't look at the runtime. It's definitely got to be at least 2 hours. But yeah, I mean, it did expand the lore with the characters a little more, and, you know, I get people saying this movie wasn't totally necessary because now they're just sort of doing like this, you know, dream sequence stuff to bring the grabber back, you know. But then again, if you look at the first movie, there's supernatural stuff in that too. So, like, it's not totally out of the ballpark of this universe, you know. Again, was it necessary? I guess not, but I liked seeing, like, what was brought to the lore. You know what I mean? Like, you get to learn more about, you know, their mother, for instance, which I'm not going to talk about too much. That's a spoiler, but, you know, you learn more about her past and, you know, what the dreams mean and everything like that. The grabber is, of course, creepy as hell. Ethan Hawke gives a really good performance again. And I feel like, too, it's sort of a strength and a weakness with him because you don't really get, like, a ton of him. In the first movie, it was kind of the same. You don't really get a ton of him, but when he's on screen, it's good, you know. It's sort of like that less is more thing. So would I like to see more of him? Absolutely, but I get it. Like, it's more effective when he's only shown selectively like that. And then you do have some other characters in the movie. You have some really cool side characters. There's one girl named Mustang. She was cool. You get the brother of, what's his name, Riley from the first movie. He was cool too, I guess. You know. So, the movie was just okay, though, to me. Like, I wouldn't rewatch it a lot. It's sort of on par with the first one for me. Like, I wouldn't rewatch the first one a lot either. Like I said, I've only ever watched it, you know, twice at this point. But I thought it was a solid movie. You know, I'll probably give it the same grade, C+, you know, 6 out of 10. That's what I gave the first one. So, but I sort of get the hate, you know, but I wouldn't call it bad. You know, people calling this movie bad, I don't agree, you know. Sort of like I said about Tron last week. Same thing I said about him a couple weeks ago, you know. I don't know. That's my honest opinion, you know. I just can't help but be honest with you guys. I don't want to lie to you and tell you this movie's, you know, amazing. It's not amazing. And I'm not going to tell you it's bad because I genuinely think it's okay, you know. But like I said, it dragged for me, and then I would have liked to seen some more kills, I guess. Yeah. But I don't really know what else to say. I mean, I'm not going to do a spoiler section or anything like that. But I thought it was a solid film. They don't need to do a third one. I feel like they should just stop it here, probably. But then again, if they come up with something cool, I don't know. And if it makes money, it'll probably happen. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say. That's really about it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the movie. What would you rate it? Do you prefer this one or the first one? Like I said, they're both probably equal for me. I kind of got to sit and think about it, which one I prefer. But I don't know. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm trying to remember what comes out next week. I know they have that Bruce Springsteen movie next week. I don't know if I'm going to see that. I think there's something else. I can't think of it right now. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching and have a good one. Bye bye.